Old Testament, Genesis tells how it all began. Creation, sin, and the people God formed. Exodus shows God with a powerful hand. He frees the people and the law is victorious. Leviticus teaches purity and devotion, with law, sacrifices, and consecration. Numbers shows the people complaining. Disobedience delays the blessing. Moses will remember Deuteronomy, God's law so the people don't stray. Joshua conquers his place with faith. God's promise begins to take hold. Judges shows the cycle of falling and rising, but God always comes to rescue with love. Through this story of loyalty and love, God honors those who follow with faith and courage. First and second Samuel with Saul and David, kings who show how men can fall. First and second Kings, kingdoms to divide, prophets emerging to instruct the people. First and second Chronicles will retell the history of the kings for the people to remember. Ezra brings the law, builds the temple. Nehemiah restores the walls. Esther was brave, saved her nation with faith and fasting. God gave the solution. Job suffered but remained firm, and at the end of the trials God blessed him. Psalms are songs full of prayer, praise and lament with great emotion. Proverbs brings advice for living well. Wisdom comes from God and no one else. Ecclesiastes says everything is vanity. Without God there is no value of truth. The Song of Songs is a hymn to pure love of the bridegroom and the bride, image of the Lord. Isaiah speaks of the coming Messiah, light to the nations promised without fail. Jeremiah wept for the fallen nation, but spoke of the new covenant promised. Lamentations are the weeping for the pain of the people who turned away from the Lord. Ezekiel saw visions of restoration. From dry bones a new nation is born. Daniel in a pit conquered without fear, and revealed the eternal kingdom of the Lord. Hosea was faithful even when rejected, showing God's love to the ungrateful people. Joel spoke of the Spirit to be poured out, and the judgment that will one day come. Amos condemned injustice and oppression, calling the people back to their hearts. Obadiah spoke against Edom and its pride. God overthrows evil and raises up the righteous. Jonah fled, but God caught up with him, and to Nineveh the prophet preached. Micah cries out for justice and compassion, and announces the Messiah in Bethlehem salvation. Nahum said that Nineveh would fall, for it rejected good and evil followed. Habakkuk questions but learns to trust, even without seeing. He decides to praise. Zephaniah announces judgment and restoration. God purifies with his forgiveness. Haggai calls, rebuild the altar, give God first place. Zechariah speaks of the king coming, riding on a donkey in triumph. Malachi warns the people to return, and says that Elijah will one day come to announce